Hi everybody, it's Meridy with Not Just Your Boys Kit Club, and I am here with our August 2021 page kit. And first I'm going to show you what you are going to get in your page kit. Everyone is going to get an alphabet, and when you checked out at the store there was a drop down menu for you to either select the wood grain alphabet or the gray alphabet. I used the gray one on my sample layout that has pictures, and I'm going to use the wood grain one on this video and that layout, so you can see what it looks like with both of them. And the papers, oh, you're also going to get a little jar of these little finishing touches that coordinate with the paper. And then you're going to get one piece of this Minte Suntastic paper and a piece of this Minte Suntastic paper, that's the back side, and a piece of this Bow Bunny paper, and two pieces of this Ella and Vive brick paper, and one piece of white cardstock. And you are just going to cut these papers to the dimensions that are outlined in your instruction sheet that came with your kit. So I'm going to turn off the video and I'm going to go cut these papers, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so now that we've got everything cut, I am going to use, these are going to be used in place of my photos. So I'm just going to pull the ones that we're going to work on the left hand side of the layout first, and I'm just going to pull the photos that go on the left hand side, and I'm going to put the rest off to the side for when we get to that page. And then you will want to actually trim these photos, it says this in the instructions, just a little shy of 4x6 and a little shy of 3x4 and a little shy of 4x6, because that way you can just really easily cut the white paper that came into your kit into 4x6 photo mats, and they'll be the perfect size for pictures that are a little tinier than 4x6. So I'm gonna grab, I cut down all the photo mats already that I need. And I'm gonna grab those three. And then we're going to need one of these square pieces and this bigger piece of the teal paper. And we're gonna need one of the brick papers for the background. Just gonna put all these other goodies off to the side. Whoops. And then you're going to need this one and the back that looks like this. Oops, that's upside down. This is the back of this square looks like this. The front looks like this. And then we are going to be using a bunch of these, but I'm gonna set them off to the side for now. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do, or that I did, was I inked the edges of my photo mats, just so they pop a little bit off the page. I inked one of the 4x6s with Tattered Rose Distress Oxide ink. You could ink it with any light, like tan color, kind of to match this paper right here. So I just, oops, I am inking the photo, not the mat. Okay, you want to ink the mat. And then I also want to ink the mat of the 4x6, or I mean 3x4 photo that's going on here too. And I want to ink that one in the same Tattered Rose color. But then the third photo mat, I'm going to ink in a different color because I want it to pop off the background paper that it's on. You'll see what I mean when I start laying everything out on the layout. So two pictures are going to be matted with the Tattered Rose, and one picture I'm matting with Salvaged Patina Distress Oxide. And you'll see why when we get this whole page laid out. If you don't like to to ink the edge of your mats, then you can just totally skip this step. It's just a preference to ink the edge of the photo mat. Okay, and then we'll put this away. The next thing that you're going to do here is adhere your pictures to the photo mats. So I'm just gonna do that real quick. And like I said, I cut the picture just a little smaller than a 3x4, so it fits perfectly on that 3x4 photo mat. And this picture is just a little smaller than a 4x6, so it fits perfectly on the 4x6 photo mat. And same with this one. I hope that makes sense. I just trimmed a tiny bit off of all my photos. Okay, so there's the photos. Now we can start placing the pieces of the layout. This square is gonna go there, and this one is gonna go down here. I'm gonna go ahead and adhere those right now, because a lot of times I like to lay things out and get everything placed out before adhering everything, but this background is fairly simple, so, and there's only really one place for these to go. Okay, and then this long piece is gonna go up there and the short one overlaps here. I left about 3.5 bricks at the top. And then at the bottom, maybe like 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches from the bottom. Approximately. Okay, and they line right up against the edge, so that's pretty simple. Okay, and then you're gonna adhere your pictures. I adhered these two just like that. And this bottom one, just like this. And I didn't put tape too close up to the very edge because we might slide some of these cut aparts are slid underneath the picture a little. So just kind of put adhesive more in the middle so you can easily slide layers under this when you get to this part. The next part is going to be quite a bit of fussy cutting. So let's see. The pieces that we're gonna fussy cut for this half of the layout, I used certain pieces. If your photos match other pieces in here, then use those instead of the ones I used. There's like, for instance, I didn't use any of the ice cream cones. But if your pictures are of someone eating ice cream cone, then you'll probably want to use the ice cream cones maybe instead of the shells that I use. So I will show you what I used, but there are so many great images on this cut apart sheet that you can use whichever ones work with your pictures. So I'm gonna show you all the ones that I cut out, and then I'm gonna speed this up while you're watching. So I cut out the little beach houses. I'm gonna use the sailboat right here. I'm going to use this big fan leaf. I'm using this big leaf right here. And then I'm using this succulent, and this succulent, and this succulent down here. And then I'm using this shell, and this shell, and this shell, and one more succulent. I'm using this succulent right here, and then I think I'm using this one up here too. So I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward this and cut these out in speed mode, but at least you know which ones I'm cutting. Sometimes it's a little easier here to cut around, like generally around the image, and then fussy cut finer in your hand like that. So I'm going to speed this up while I'm cutting these pieces. Oh, okay guys, I forgot to tell you too, the little suitcase I also cut. So once you get all your pieces cut, then just lay them all out approximately where it looks like they should go. I didn't adhere anything down yet. I'm waiting until I get everything laid out in the right spots. And some of these things are on different layers. I use dimensional adhesive to put them on different layers, or on different levels. Some of them are popped up a little on pop dots. And I will tell you which ones in just a moment. Okay. This back here. And I've got another. I think I'm missing. I'm missing one little, I think I'm missing this little guy right here. So I'm gonna cut him out really quick. And that is the last one. Now you'll notice that there's a little brick that I put, one of these bricks. I cut it out and added that to this little embellishment cluster. So what you can do is you can either cut the brick out of this paper, this background paper from behind this, or you could just grab the other layout we're about to do and cut a brick out of this top right hand side, because this is going to be covered up. So I'm just going to cut a brick from right here. And you'll never be able to see where we cut this out because this is going to be covered by a piece of paper on the right hand side of the layout. Okay, so then it's time to start adhering things down. And I will just start at the very last layer. So I'm going to start here with this frond thing, whatever you want to call that. And it's just going to go straight onto the back. It doesn't get popped up on any adhesive, dimensional adhesive or anything. And then the next is the brick that we cut. And after that will be the suitcase. And then this, I'm not putting adhesive everywhere all over the whole back because I want it to be able to slide things underneath. For instance, this little beach house needs to slide behind this succulent just a little. So I kind of left it not so adhered. Okay, then the next thing that's going to happen is this sailboat is going to be on pop dots, and so is this succulent. So I'm going to grab my adhesive and I'm putting one layer of dimensional adhesive on this one and 2 on the sailboat. So this is what I mean by one layer. On the succulent, it's just getting 1. This seashell over here that's wedged under is also going to be up on 1. I'm not going to put the sailboat down yet. I'm going to finish adhering everything else so you can see. So there's another succulent down here and another seashell right about there, and this little aloe vera cactus type plant in there, and a seashell kind of peeking out. I just messed with these and put them in different things on top and on the bottom until I found a way that I thought looked pretty pleasing to the eye. Okay, so now comes everything that's popped up. I'm going to put 1 layer of dimension on this seashell, just like that. I'm going to put 1 layer on this little blue seashell. tinier seashell, so I'm gonna cut it. And then there. And then I'm gonna put 2 layers on this sailboat so it's even taller off the page. And in order to do that pretty easily, I'm gonna actually put the adhesive straight on the page so I know I'm not putting it on the things that are already there. Then it would make them even taller. So there's 2 thick there. And then I'll just put the sailboat right on top. And then this is just flush with the back. It sticks in there. Okay. After that, you're gonna wanna put your title. And like I said, there's 2 different options for the alphas of the title. One of them was wood grain, which is what I've got right here. And one of them, it's the exact same font and alphabet, it's just in gray. And that's what I have in the pictures of the completed layout that's on the website, and at the end of this video you'll see, and those letters are gray. And like I said, the way that you could tell, there was a drop-down menu when you purchased the page kit. So if you dropped it down to pick wood grain, then you will be getting wood grain. And if you didn't mess with it, then I think gray was the first option on there. Okay. And then the final thing that you do to this side of the layout is going to be to add these little finishing touch pearls. And what I did was kind of dump them out so I could pick what colors. And I just kind of put them randomly out here and then kept moving them around until I got a layout that I liked. Yeah, it's kind of hard to set things random when you're really trying to be random. So I moved them around a few times before I got a good random looking cluster of these. But yeah, I would lay them all out first and then go back and glue them. And I'm gonna show you, I have a nifty little tool that helps me glue them down, that helps me hold them when I'm gluing them down. Or you can use tweezers. I think those would be helpful too. Just to help get these right exactly where you want them. Okay. Oops. I think I've got almost enough on here. The closer that you keep them to each other, it kind of looks better, I think. But still looking random. I know this is like very strange. Just add a couple and keep them kind of grouped close together. Okay, and then I'll show you the little tool I use. I'm going to use glossy accents to adhere them down, and this tool, we do not sell this. It's actually a Stampin' Up! Tool, but it's like this pen that has like little sticky on it. And a little bit of stickiness comes out, and then it holds the piece until I can put a drop of glue. Ooh, I got way too much glue there. Oh my word. Okay, well that one's kind of messy. Just need a little tiny dot of the glossy accents. And that is how I glue down all of these. Just lift them up with this little sticky tool. You can also use tweezers. You could use your fingers. It just might take a little longer with your fingers. And my nails make it not so easy to pick them up. So I'm gonna fast forward the rest of this part with me adhering these down, because I think you get the idea. Now that the left side of the layout is done, I'm going to pick up this and get out the supplies and work on the right side. For the right side of the layout, we're going to also start with this brick paper, and we are going to use three 3x4 photos and a 4x6 photo. And I'm again going to make them just shy of 3x4 and 4x6 so that they will easily fit on photo mats that are cut to 3x4 and 4x6. So again, I'm going to use the Tattered Rose Distress Oxide ink for the top two photo mats for the top two pictures. And then, and like I said, omit this part if you do not like inking the edges of your photo mats. You don't need to do this, it's optional. And then the bottom two photos are going to be inked in the patina color. Oh my goodness, I forgot the name of it. Salvaged patina. So the salvaged patina is on these two. And then you can go ahead and adhere your photos to the photo mats. That way there's just less pieces laying out on your desk. So do that. And once you get all of your pictures laid down or matted down, then we can start laying out the page design. This side is a little tricky because we're gonna use an X-Acto knife and cut away some of these bricks. And I will show you what I mean in just a second. So this piece right here is going up there. And then this other square, I liked the back side with the shutters, but if you don't like the shutters, you could put this side down. But I just really liked the shutters. So I'm gonna go ahead and adhere this bottom one right here, but not this top one yet, because I will show you why. So I adhere the bottom one. Now, we're gonna cut one more brick out of this background. So I'll just cut the next brick that's close to the edge. And then we're gonna come in here. I'm gonna set this off to the side because we're not using it yet. But we're gonna come in here and we're going to take, okay, you've got this tiny little row and then another row of bricks and another row of bricks, and then starting on this third full row of bricks, you're gonna use an X-Acto knife and cut out some of these bricks so they overlap over the top of this piece of paper. And I'll show you exactly how to do that. First, you're gonna wanna put a self-healing mat probably, or some kind of work surface protection underneath your paper. Okay, and then I've got this laid out here. And so not this half a row, not this full row, not this full row, but this full row right here. So this is where the paper starts. You're going to cut with an X-Acto knife, only up as far as this paper. I'm gonna turn it sideways and cut a little ways down. I'm gonna cut to the end of this brick. And then go down and then do the next brick and go down. And then we're gonna go back over to the next bottom brick. And then we're just gonna go all the way back down this line and stop right where this one started. Let me turn my paper. Okay, so you've cut this funky little shape out, and when you glue this paper down, you're just gonna lay that one on top, like that. I know it looks weird right now because all the pictures aren't on here, but when everything else gets laid out, it will make more sense. I'm actually gonna just trim a tiny little bit because it wasn't fitting. Okay, so I'm going to adhere this paper down by sliding it underneath what we just cut. Okie doke, just like that. And then you can put some adhesive down there so that flap stays down. Okay, and then we can get rid of that mat under there. And we'll start adhering the pictures. You're gonna wanna get your other layout that you just made and line it up here so that you can line things up before adhering down on this side. So the first thing that you're going to wanna adhere is this paper, and it's gonna line up exactly with itself on the other side. I think I did it upside down. It really doesn't matter. It's such a random organic design that it wouldn't matter if you put this upside down or right side up. So once you've got that, then you're just gonna line up the pictures with the pictures on the other side. So for instance, this one will be lined up with this photo. And then this one will line up with the bottoms. And this one will line up right there. And this photo will go right here. Okay, so that's why you need to set this sheet down if you're making a double page, so you make sure that these are all in line. But I'm gonna remove this sheet so we can just focus on that side. Oops, I lost one of my gems. I guess I didn't glue that one down. Okay, so on this side, you are going to use that brick that we cut at the very beginning of making this page. And then we're gonna go back to the fussy cutting page and we're gonna cut the following items. You're going to cut this palm frond thing and this sandcastle. If you're doing exactly what I'm doing, you'll wanna cut these. This blue shell, this pink shell, this little pink shell or peach shell, this succulent, and there's another succulent somewhere on here. This succulent right here. And I only cut one of the beach houses. I just cut a half. So I'm gonna start cutting those, and I'll put this on fast forward while I'm cutting so you don't have to watch me cut all of those. But those are the things that you're gonna cut to layer. And again, just like on the other side, if you've got different pictures that match better with something else from this sheet, definitely cut out what matches your pictures better. You don't have to cut and use the exact same die cut pictures that I'm using. So let me fast forward this for a minute. Okay, now that we've got those cut, we can kind of lay them out. This beach house I really wedged back in there. And again, I wouldn't adhere anything down until you get it all laid out how you want it. Making sure I'm not missing any pieces here. And I'll tell you what I popped up on dimensional adhesive and what I left flush to the paper. And I am missing a little shell. I don't think I cut it, but I don't see it on the paper. So it's gotta be over here in my scraps. Let me find that. I found it. I had cut it out and I just forgot to cut it all the way out. Okay. So now I think I've got all of the pieces. So I'm gonna start with the back piece, which is this boathouse, or the boathouse. I read the word boathouse. It's the beach house. And then this fan little thing. And then next is this tan succulent and this green aloe vera succulent piece. And then this succulent I put on dimensional adhesive, just one layer. And this seashell, oops, I missed a little part here. I also put it on one layer of dimension. Right here. And this seashell is flush to the back of the page. And this little blue one is up on dimension. And then the whole sandcastle is up on 2 layers of adhesive. So again, I'm going to put it in the back so I'm not overlapping it. If I just put it on the back of this, I might get it in the area of those 2 and I don't want to do that. So I'm just putting 2 on top of each other. And then 2 on top of each other right here. 1, 2. Okay. And this guy, oops, kind of got those in the wrong place. We'll just move them so they don't show. Okie doke. And then the brick, oh my word, the little brick piece that we cut out, apparently I lost it. I found it here. That brick I'm going to use to put the date on my layout. Just put it right there, and I'm gonna stamp the date there. And I'm putting my title right over these bricks that we cut out. So whatever your title is, and I wanted my title to end and not overlap the little beach house, so I put the last letter on first. And do it backwards. And my title is Blue Water Boathouse, which is the name of the restaurant that we were eating at. So the second word in my title, I wanted to start at the beginning because I want it to start right here. So I'll start putting the first letters down instead of backwards from the last letter. And it will overlap my little beach house, and that's fine. That's what I wanted. Because I just like when the title is staggered just a little. Okay, and then the last thing is just the finishing touches, and that's these little finishing touches. Oops, and I'm spilling them everywhere. If you want to do them exactly the same way I did, there's going to be close-up pictures for this layout on our website under the listing, so you can get the exact pearls exactly where I had them and all of the embellishment clusters exactly how I did them. But if you don't want to do them exactly how I did them, then I would just place them out kind of randomly again, and I would get them laid out before gluing them down. And let's see here. I kind of tucked some under this little castle. I thought that looked nice. And you should have plenty of these to do even more layouts than just this one. There's a lot of these little guys in here. So you can add more if you want, or less if you want, but there's plenty of these little pearls. I used the same jar for both, for my layout that has pictures and my layout that does not have pictures that I'm making right now, this in the video. I used the same jar of pearls, so I know that you'll have plenty. And then, let's see, I think it's just about time to adhere them down. I want another blue one up here. Okay guys, I thought my camera was on while I was adhering all of these pearls down with my little tool like I did on the other side, but my camera was off. So these are all adhered now, and I used my little sticky tool to get them down. And the last thing that I'm gonna do is add journaling to my layout, and I would normally type journaling and cut it apart into strips and put it right down here. And I used, if you used as many photos as I did, there was some of the white photo matting paper left, and that's what I used to cut my journaling strips. So that is the completed layout, and there are detail shots and close-up shots at the end of this video, and then again there's going to be the detailed shots on our website, and you'll have a photo of this completed layout on your instructions, so you can kind of see where everything goes. Thanks for watching, and if you guys make this layout, I want to see pictures. I would love to see pictures of it. You can post them on our Facebook group or on our Instagram page. I like seeing what pictures everybody uses for their layouts. So I'll see you soon. Bye. Thanks.